Hello,
Hello.
and welcome to Planet Marzipan, the Fish and Marillion podcast. I'm Mezza, and here's my mate.
Craig Houston.
Hello, and welcome to Planet Marzipan. I'm Mezza. I'm here with my good friend,
Craig.
and it's a road trip episode. Woo!
Yay! Well, a post-road trip episode.
All right, I have to explain why it's a post-road trip episode, folks. When we go away on these road trips, I have a trusty phone microphone. When I say trusty, it's foolproof, apart from when you give it to an idiot, which is me.
Yeah, not me for once. Not me.
No, it's not his fault. So we interviewed we interviewed the bands that we're going to talk about, and we interviewed our friend Scott, who owns the venue that the Cillirion boys played at on the Sunday afternoon. And this morning, before we started recording, I just thought I'd have a listen to them, and they're all blank. So we're going to revisit the guys and re-interview them, so you will get a flavour of what we actually did over the weekend in this episode. But we started on Saturday. What was Saturday's date? I don't know where I am. Saturday the 16th of May. I drove from York up to Craig's, just outside Newcastle, and then we met our friend Pam, and we drove across to Cullercoats, which, for those of you who don't know, is on the northeast coast, just down from Whitley Bay.
And just slightly north from Tynemouth.
Yeah. And we got there mid-afternoon, and as you do, went to the chippy. Had something to eat, but it was absolutely freezing.
It was blowing a gale and rain.
It was Baltic. It was Baltic. So we got there early because Mark Colton, who we'll speak to very shortly, had invited us to come and see the guys and come into the sound check. The venue itself, Craig, how would you describe the Cullercoats? Is it Crescent Club, wasn't it?
The Crescent Club, yeah.
Yeah.
I would imagine there's a lot of people who've seen Peter Kay's Phoenix Nights. Where it's a format. Well, it's all CRU working man's club, and it's massive. It's on 2 floors.
Yeah,
the ground floor has got like what you would class like an old school bar and a sports bar downstairs. So they've got the big widescreen TVs, pool tables, and stuff like that.
Yeah,
cracking little downstairs. And upstairs, you've got like a seafront bar where you can overlook the beach and the coastline, so you can see on a clear day, you can see all the way down to like South Shields and stuff. They can see the mouth of the Tyne. It's all very, very pretty. And as I happened to point out, you could see the Grand Hotel in Tynemouth just across the bay, which is where Sarah and I got married 10 years ago.
It is.
So
it was a lot warmer on that day.
It was a lot warmer on that day. So that's at the front. That's at the front of the venue, and the back of the venue is the big concert hall, which can, I say, if with the tables and stuff in, I think it can probably easily hold about 100, 150 people plus. If you took the seats out, you'd carry a lot more. But tables aligned as you would expect in a club, in rows. So it's all, and they've got a dance floor area and a nice decent sized stage as well.
Yeah.
For the size of venue. But all in all, it was a cracking little venue. And also, with it being a club, the drinks prices were very reasonable.
True, indeed. Drinks were very reasonable. I mean, the setup, the Marquee Square Heroes boys had taken their own sort of PA setup with them, and their own sort of guys that were running that on their behalf, weren't they?
Yeah, they'd hired some guys to do the sound, and a really good job that they did of it.
Yeah, it was a great setup for that room, I have to say. once they sound checked, which sounded brilliant, while we were sort of sat about initially interviewing them, which didn't work, but we'll gloss over that. The sound guys had this 80s compilation on, didn't they? All these
Yeah,
um
foreign on everybody.
yeah, all the hair ballad classics were on, which was a bit strange, but yeah. I think doors opened at 7.
Yeah.
Um, Venue filled up fairly quickly, I have to say. It was nice to see some of the usual suspects, our friends from the northeast there, wasn't it?
Yeah, and there was a lot of t-shirts from, like say, Fish era t-shirts, and there was Marillion t-shirts, and there was Modern Fish t-shirts. So it was a good splattering, but as usual, it was full of people of a certain age.
Yeah, yeah, our age. But yeah, it was great, and I'm really pleased for the band that they got that sort of turnout. As Mark will no doubt tell us very shortly, they'd been in Hull the night before and had a great reception there. And then after this gig on the Saturday, they were heading to Glasgow. So, but we'll get more of that from Mark shortly. So they played 2 sets. First set was an hour, and it started with Script for Jester's Tear.
Now, before you mention that, you had a sneaky look at the set list, and you happened to go, "Oh, they're not playing script,"
I
and I
did,
was
yeah.
like, "Look at the top of the set
Yeah,
list,
yeah, yeah.
blind
I
pew."
said I'm surprised they're not playing script. It's the very first thing on the set list. I don't know what the hell was wrong with it. But yeah, they open with that. I mean, there's 2 new members since we last saw them, isn't there? The drummer and the keyboard player are new. But you wouldn't know. I mean, it was, the band were pretty together, I have to say.
Yeah, and also they had the addition of a female backing singer.
Which they had last
So
time we saw them, to be fair. So
yeah,
that's
but
not
it's
new,
it's
but she
yeah,
is
but
in
it's
the
it's
lineup.
it's
Yeah.
it's different to what you see with some of the other guys.
Yeah, yeah. But script was great. Guitarist was just phenomenal, I have to say, absolutely nailing Rothery's solos. I because we've slept twice, 3 times since then. I can't remember his name. Um, no point looking at Craig because he's just looking gormless now.
As ever.
I'm really sorry, mate. You were amazing, and we will put this into the show notes. From there, we got Sugar Mice,
Which is
and
quite, it's funny for that to be so early in a set list, but it worked well.
yeah, and then Mark announced the final song of the first set, which was Misplaced Childhood in its entirety. Um, Told a little story about Fish's intros during the Farewell to 84 shows, and nice piece of sort of well, good, some great memories, certainly ranks it with
Bit of
me.
history, bit of
Yeah,
history.
because I was there as well, so yeah,
Yeah, and
it was good.
mentioning, yeah, Mark also mentioned the fact that Fish was making up the lyrics as he went along on that leg of the tour just before, was it like 7 or 8 months before the album came out?
Yeah, yeah. But another solid version, I have to say. Um, and that rounded out the best part of an hour. Those technically 3 songs, but obviously a lot more. Some great moments in Misplaced. I really enjoyed side 2 as well. I really enjoyed some of the stuff on side 2. Um, the Milo section I thought was really good.
Yeah, it's I never tire of hearing Misplaced live because I never got to hear it first time round. So making up after all these years.
Yeah, yeah. But a brilliant way to start. And then they went off for a 15-20 minute break. They got lots of new merch on sale. Andy, the bass player, has a book that he's written about Rush fandom that was on sale as well. They got brand new tour t-shirts and seems to be doing a fairly brisk trade on the merch as well. So it was great. And we got a chance at the break to sort of chat with a few of our friends, didn't we? So
Yeah, we did. I mean, I know when we were speaking to Mark before the gig, he said he'd overdone it a little bit in Hull the night before, and he thought he was struggling. And I know he did feel that he was fighting in the first half of the gig. When they came back for the second half, he'd been on the Fresh Orange, and he'd got himself a lot a lot more comfortable in where we wanted to be.
Yeah. So second set started with Garden Party. From there, went into a rousing version of Incubus. We had a good couple of versions of Incubus over the weekend. We'll talk shortly about the other one, but this was again a brilliant version. And probably for me, the best song of this gig was Cinderella Search.
We always love Cinderella Search.
But it went down really well, didn't it?
Spot
on. And the crowd got going. There was a lot of sort of crowd interaction. It wasn't, I don't think people were on the dance floor at this point yet, were they? So that kind of came a bit later.
A little bit later was as the wine flowed, shall we say.
Well, and the set list sort of stepped up into some of the old classics, didn't it? But yeah. From Cinderella Search, they went into Chelsea Monday.
Storm version.
Yeah. Complete with all the sound effects at the intro as well, which sounded great. And then Mark got to act out Forgotten Sons.
Yeah, I think we were all deaf by microphone stand again.
Yeah. No, it was good. It was really theatrical. Mark really going for it as well. The set list that I managed to get a photo of before the gig then had Grendel in brackets afterwards. I think it was basically a if we're all right, we're going to do it type of thing.
Yes.
So they did then go into Grendel.
Yeah, spoiler alert, we got Grendel for the first time.
Yeah. Which was great. It's not really something I play very often, but when I'm listening to it, I love it. Yeah. Anything you want to say about Grendel, Craig?
No, because I'll keep comparing it to a bit of a car crash version that Fish did in Leamington Spa. So this was yes, considerably better.
Okay. From there, on the set list, they were meant to go off, but I think they went straight into Fugazi next, and that was the final song of the main set, the main second set. That was a great version, really good. The ending was particularly strong on that. And at this point, people started to sort of drift onto the dance floor and were sort of singing and I wouldn't say dancing is the right word, but moving about. And
Piss dad dancing.
Yeah. Then the encore was Incommunicado with, again,
yeah, you nearly put your hip out.
Yeah, I did, nearly, yeah. And they finished the night with Marquee Square Heroes.
And also Margaret was in there as well.
Oh, with Margaret, yes. Sorry, I beg your pardon.
Margaret was in there as well.
A bit of Margaret, yeah.
And there was a crime against vocals when
there was a guest vocalist on the end of Marquee Square Heroes where I loudly sang some of the end lyrics of Marquee
I've never seen a dance floor clear so fast, and it was almost like the fire alarm went off. Everybody
all right. And the new keyboard player got his guitar out for that. I'll have you know.
For Margaret, yes.
Yeah, which sounded great. But tribute bands and guitars, it's a bit of a trend now, isn't it? But no, I was really pleased for him. It was a great night. We had a fantastic time, as I think everybody that was there did. And it was a nice touch that as people were leaving, Mark sort of stood at the top of the stairs towards the exit and sort of said, "Thanks for coming, everybody." It was really nice.
Yeah, very classy.
Yeah. But the band were great. Highly recommended. If you get a chance to see them, please do. Please support them. Thank you very much, Mark, and the guys for their hospitality and letting us come early to see them. And yeah, fantastic, really good. Anything you want to add, Craig?
No, but what we did, we obviously recorded an interview with Mark that's disappeared into the ether, but we've dragged him kicking and screaming back.
Yeah. So now, after the event, after the weekend, let's talk to Mark Colton from Marquee Square Heroes. So that's what we thought of the Marquee Square Heroes gig on Saturday night. And a few days after the weekend, we caught up with Mark Colton, to catch up on the whole weekend that he's had with the band. And Mark joins us now. Hi, Mark.
Hi, guys. How you doing?
Good, mate. You?
Yeah, I'm just about recovering from the weekend.
I was good. If you slept for the last couple of days, then what?
We're not quite. I went back to work on Tuesday and discovered the delights of. I don't normally drink coffee, but what I've discovered is it really does wake you up and keeps you going. And we've got a Starbucks next to us. They've taken a lot of my money this week.
Well, obviously we saw you on Saturday night, but you'd been in Hull the night before on Friday, and then after we saw you on Sunday, you went to Glasgow. So
Yeah,
how was the weekend for you and the band?
we had a fantastic time. I mean, all three shows we were really pleased with. Hull, the venue was wonderful. It's Wrecking Ball, an amazing record shop and bookshop and cafe on the ground floor, and then a really nice and well kitted out performance space above it. I don't know whether we sold it out or not, but what I do know is you wouldn't have got many more people in there and it would have been uncomfortable if they had, I think. But that was a really good start, apart from we all spent far too much money in the record shop.
It's dangerous though, isn't it?
It's a great shop, it really is.
It really is, yeah. I really enjoyed that. And then you saw us on the Saturday, and the background was that we had to change the venue, so we ended up hiring a venue ourselves and hiring a PA, and we were really pleased with the turnout. It
was a good sized room, wasn't it?
It was, yeah. It was a decent sized room. If anything, maybe it was a little bit too big. We could have done with people being a bit more squashed up,
closer to the band. Yeah.
But it's set up. It's a working man's club essentially, isn't it? So it's set up
totally.
with the tables and chairs in rows. So it's very old school.
Yeah. Well, no, it didn't. Yeah, totally. But they really looked after us. The guys did the PA did a fantastic job. I think that was the longest set of the 3 nights that we did.
Wow.
Did we do Grendel? Can't remember.
You did, yeah. You did
yes.
Grendel, yeah.
Yeah. Some great dancing there, John, and some stunning singing from John.
Well, yeah, I think, but stunning and singing. I'd question your use of both of those words there, but
well,
that was great. It was a really good night.
Yeah.
The 2 sets thing worked really well. You know, playing Misplaced at the end of the first set,
yeah,
and then leading into the second set worked really well. Really great night.
Yeah. And then Saturday in Glasgow was just completely off the scale. I suddenly realised halfway through the first number that it was a bit like taking coals to Newcastle, taking fish to Glasgow. It was.
Yeah.
And I suddenly shit my pants. But they were really up for it, and a lot of singing was going on. My mic went down in Incubus, and the audience sang the whole first verse.
Brilliant.
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, I suppose we know all the songs, but one of the lesser known ones, the audience response was fantastic, and the band didn't miss any cues whilst I managed to get my mic back on. And that was great. I mean, the only downside was there were stairs everywhere we played, and loading in and loading out was rubbish everywhere.
Yeah.
But yeah, we've had a huge amount of new people go onto our likes on our Facebook page. Lots of really nice messages have been sent to us. All 3 venues that we played want us back. So the new T-shirt designs absolutely flew out, which again was really cool. So yeah, it was fantastic. And yeah, I think at the lineup, in terms of the lineup, it might have been like gig like 8, 9, and 10 with the current lineup.
Yeah.
And I'm sure you'll agree it's a lot better than the lineup that we had before.
I think you really gelled. I mean, do you want to talk a little bit about the new guys? You've got a new keyboard player, new drummer.
Yeah. So we got to a stage after Holland last year where it just wasn't quite working. We needed more commitment, and the songs we needed, it was just taking us too long to learn or to do the new material that we wanted to do. And we were very lucky that the drummer is a guy called Jason Clark, who's a guy who I played with in the late 80s He plays on an album that I recorded in 1990. And it was through him that I met Andy Faulkner originally, and that would have been right back in 89 or 90.
And Andy's your bass player.
Andy's the bass player, yeah.
Yeah.
And he did an album with Andy in 1993. And Andy and I's paths have crossed many times because he can jump, and he did the 12th Night thing, and he's was at the Classic Rock Society. And we were always saying, well, what happened to Jason? Where did he go? Have you ever heard anything? And we'd not heard a thing about him. And he's such a great drummer. He's just so relaxed. You know, he can do Pointer, he can do Mosley, you know, very comfortably. And we suddenly heard he was back in the country in the summer of last year. He'd gone out to Germany, done a Love's Young Dream, got married and had kids, and it had all gone a bit wrong for him. And he came back to the UK. We needed a depth drummer for Cambridge last year, and he fitted in really, really well. We made a call at that stage that we were going to ask him to join the band. No disrespect to Fletch, who was the drummer before, but he couldn't commit the time that we really needed. And he's doing well in the Nightwish tribute band at the moment. So good luck to him. And we thought, right, if we're going to change one, we might as well sort out some of the challenges that we've got. And I contacted, I think it was 20 or 25 keyboard players off of one of these websites. And we were really fortunate. The only person who replied was Mark Preston, our new keyboard player, and he's taken to it like a duck to water. He's an old school prog fan, and he's loving every second of it.
Who's he played with recently? I remember reading it.
Yeah, his sort of claim to fame, if it is such a thing, was he played with Owen Paul of Your
That's it. I remember reading that. I couldn't think of the name. Yeah. Okay. Well,
but he does a bandioki thing or whatever you call them. I don't know, where they turn up. Yeah, and they play backing things for people who want to get up and jam with them or play with them and sing with them or whatever. He sight reads the whole set. Can you
really? Wow. He wasn't shy with his guitar either.
believe, John? I mean, honestly. Yeah.
It was great.
Yeah. He's got two guitars. And the first time he did it, we were like, where the fuck's he come from? We didn't know he was going to do it.
It's great because the whole of the set is like a mild-mannered guy in the back corner.
Yeah.
And then for the encore, all of a sudden he's on the dance floor with you. And
and he was even wilder in Glasgow last night, and there was a very nice rider which we didn't realise, but he'd drunk most of it before we went.
You see, that's experience, Mark.
Yeah. But I don't really know a huge amount about his background. I don't think he's played particularly in rock bands. I think he's a bit more cultured than that. He gets a bit Liberace sometimes, or a bit Elton John, and the arms going up and stuff. And he's really funny. He's very dry. He's beginning to find his feet a bit more. I mean, it must be intimidating. I mean, Andy's been with us maybe 3.5 years. I've been with Robin since we started doing it, and Claire.
Yeah.
And then there's Jason, who's obviously got history with myself and Andy. So it must have been a little bit intimidating for him. But yeah, really pleased with the way the guys have settled in.
So I mean, we reviewed the gig and I couldn't remember Robin's name. So Robin is your guitarist.
Robin.
He's absolutely stunning. He really is. I mean, you know this already, but yeah, he absolutely nailing the Rothery stuff. Amazing. Yeah. And Claire's vocals as well. You know, the bit in Incubus is great.
Yeah, I love that bit. I really love that bit in Incubus. It's, I mean, I can do it. Like Derek, I can't do it in the original key anymore. But we thought we'd get Claire to give it a try, and then the way the lyrics are, it just turns the whole thing on its head. Just makes you think about the whole song in a different way, which, in some respects, I think is quite a nice thing to be able. Having the female voice singing it, it's been really good watching Claire grow over the time. She when we saying she was like a rabbit in the headlights to start with. Did
you know the music beforehand?
Yeah, she was a big prog fan. I mean, the scary thing, as I say most nights, is Robin wasn't even born when Script came out.
Yeah.
So that must have mean he was about 5 when Clutching at Straws came. But he's I should say Dr. Robin Diamond. He got his whatever it is in music earlier this year. He's just a phenomenal guitarist. Really
great player, really good.
Yeah,
really good. I mean, the whole band is, but Robin obviously takes the solos.
Yeah, I think Robin's a star, mate. I don't mind admitting that.
No, he's great. He's great. And we talked about the set list in the review. I mean, kind of covering all the 4 albums. You know,
yeah.
Grendel was great. I have to say, Grendel went down really well.
Yeah.
I noticed because I managed to get a copy of the set list beforehand to help me with the review, and I noticed it was in brackets, so it was maybe not, presumably.
Yeah, it was. I mean, it was partially time. I mean, I think the set list comes in at about 2 hours 40 with Grendel.
Yeah,
and some of it's to do with how we're feeling, as much as anything, and then some of it's also to do with how the audience is feeling. I think sometimes it's a big ask. Yeah, it's one of the reasons why we have the interval, and especially playing Misplaced, and that feels really strange from an artist perspective, because you sort of get used to being validated in terms of what you're doing every 6, 7, 8 minutes or whatever it is, or 10 minutes when you finish a song, but you've got a song that lasts 37, 38 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, but you could see, I mean, people were singing along.
Oh God, yeah. I mean, you could hear, see and hear, yeah. But it is a little bit twitchy, but it's good fun to do.
There were some great moments inside too. I thought Milo was brilliant. Milo went down really great.
Yeah,
and the bit where with the Rothery picking that Robin did, just spot on.
Got it. Yeah. I mean, I think it's probably my least played of the albums, if I'm honest, but probably that was driven by the fact that I'd listened to side 1 far too many times.
Yeah.
When I was working in record shops at the time, and over familiarity with the 3 big singles. But getting to do side 2 is just it's amazing. It really is. I mean, I love doing the whole thing, but doing side 2 is something really special.
Yeah.
You know, all the perimeter walk a bit, and is that on side 2? I don't know what it is actually. Yeah. You sort of get lost in it.
Yeah, no, it was great, and it went down really well, didn't it? It's what I thought. I mentioned it in the review, or we mentioned it in the review. I thought it was a really nice touch. You were standing by the door as everybody left and speaking to everybody as they left, and I thought it was a really nice touch. You must have got some great feedback.
Oh, cool. Yeah, we do. It actually, it was something that, I mean, say I've been playing in bands for, I don't know how many years, 45 years maybe. It's something that I've only ever done with Marquee Square Heroes, and the first time I did it, it was a complete Spinal Tap mistake moment. We'd come off stage at one, probably it was the first big gig we did at the sub rooms in Stroud, a fantastic venue. And I got lost on the way back to the dressing room, opened a door, and was stood on the staircase as all these people were coming out of the hall we'd just performed in. And I thought, if I turn around and go back through that door, I'm going to look a twat. So I just started saying, thanks for coming, hope you enjoyed it, and all this sort of stuff to everybody. And it really sort of worked. So we generally try and do it. Sometimes it's all the band, sometimes it's just me, depending on how quick we've got to get out.
Yeah.
But yeah, we do get some really nice feedback. It was really funny on Saturday. There was a guy who was so pissed, and he had a Man City shirt on. So obviously they've just won the FA Cup. Yeah. So I said to him, "You've had a great day, mate." And he was just like, he's going, "Have you seen my mate?" And I said, "No, I haven't. No." Has he got a Man City shirt? And he was then went on to start telling me how both of them had, when Fish left, had followed him on that first tour around Scotland, the small venues
Yeah.
one that was done.
Yeah.
And then he decided, in between, keeps saying to me, "Have you seen my mate? I've lost him," and all this sort of thing. He then decided, he said, "We're going to come and I've decided I'm going to come and see you tomorrow in Glasgow." And fair play to him, he turned up.
Did he? Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
there was another guy that followed you for all 3 days, wasn't there?
Yeah, there was. Yeah, Keith. Yeah, he turned up at each gig. He's been at loads of gigs recently. I used to play in a band with his brother a very long time ago.
Yeah,
which is probably where I know him from. And I think he came to see us with his brother, and then he just loves it and comes along. It's quite handy in Glasgow because he helped us load the van and stuff. Yeah, it was. I mean, all 3 dates were great. I mean, it was really funny because on Monday we were all hanging.
Yeah, I bet.
When we left. And by Monday night on the group chat, you know, who wishes we had a gig tonight?
Really? Oh, that's
Yeah.
good. That's good. Well, speaking of which, you've got lots of gigs planned for the rest of the year.
Yeah.
I mean, we're talking to you today on the 21st of May. This is going to go out next Tuesday, isn't it, Craig?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gonna go Tuesday.
So you've got a gig on the 29th of May
Yeah, Tunbridge
at
Wells.
Tunbridge Wells.
Yeah.
From there, you've got a gig in Guildford in June. Worcester in
Guildford's
June.
nearly sold out,
Yeah.
which is, and we've never played Guildford before. Last time I was in Guildford was the day I signed my first recording contract many years ago.
Oh, okay. Worcester and Winchester towards the end of June. Milton Keynes on the 26th of June, which is the garden party thing that you do.
Yeah, that should be a good one. I mean, do you mind if I just mention that?
Of course. Yeah.
We're going to recreate the whole of the garden party gig out with the Marillion aspect. And we're doing it indoors because getting 60,000 people to Milton Keynes might be a bit of a big issue for us.
Yeah.
But we're going to play the same set list. And then we'll play a load of other stuff after we've done the main set list. And it's on the corresponding weekend of 40 years ago.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
And then you've got in July, you've got the Robin at Bilston.
Yeah, that's always a good night.
Where are you? Great Ely.
Ely.
Look at me. You get the European names wrong. I can't even pronounce the bloody British ones. Gravesend.
Gravesend's always a banging night. It's a really good old-fashioned music venue. We had some stonking nights down there.
Into September then. Gravesend's in September. Box. You've got Tavistock, Wharf.
Yeah.
Southampton, the 1865 in October.
Yeah. Barnsley
back at Birdwell.
Yeah, that'll be a good night.
And then you're in Aylesbury in November.
Yeah.
Andover, Kinross.
That's an interesting weekend if you haven't worked it out yet. Andover on the Friday.
That's going to be a bit of a drive.
Yeah. Sack the tour manager, I reckon. Whoever booked that. But I think we're going to do, well, I know I'm going to go up on the Saturday because it's going to be Glasgow and some, I think. So, and then come back on the Monday. I'll probably have the Tuesday off this time. But yeah, looking forward to both of those actually.
And then you've got 29th of December is your last one of this year at Hanger Farm.
Yeah,
again.
That was one we did last year as the last one, and it's just outside Southampton. We've got a really good following down in that part. Well, just down on the south coast. But then I suspect that's because still Marillion have never come down and done it, and so it's a bit more challenging going up to Glasgow because you're playing in their home city.
Well, it was brave, yeah.
I actually did introduce us by telling the audience we were a Still Marillion tribute band.
Yeah.
And I meant it respectfully. I wasn't taking the piss.
Oh yeah.
I see you going to the
guys are like that.
The Met at Bury in January. Have you been to the Met before?
No.
It's a great venue. Brilliant.
Yeah, we've got some really great stuff coming up next year. I mean, I didn't realise that some of the dates we're doing in Europe were being announced. We've been approached about 2 other European countries today, and we've accepted, but I can't tell you where at the moment, John. Sorry.
No, it's fine. It's fine. But basically, if you're interested, I mean, go to the website is the main thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
MarqueeSquareHeroes.com. But it's great to see you've got such a packed gig list, and you're clearly loving it, all of you still.
Oh God, yeah.
It's brilliant, mate. We had a great night on Saturday, and thanks
could
for
tell.
letting us. Well, yes. All right. And I wasn't particularly drinking either, so
It looked like you'd had more great to drink than Craig.
yes. Well, yeah. Craig's idea of having fun is he stands with his arms folded, even at Marillion gigs. So that's how he shows it. But our friends loved it as well that were with us.
Yeah, Pamela. Yeah, it was good fun.
Yeah. No, it was brilliant, mate. And we'll get you back on in the not too distant to talk about some Fish Era Marillion stuff, I'm sure.
Yeah. Cool.
But thanks again. And
no, it's always good to see you, mate. Thank you both of you for coming along. It's always good to see you.
Thanks, mate. More power to you.
Yeah, thanks for the support that you do give us. I mean, it's really, really helpful. Anyway, good luck, guys, and keep smiling. I'll see you soon.
Thanks again to Mark for chatting to us. That was our Saturday. So we went back to Craig's and we went to bed reasonably early because we were getting up early on Sunday, weren't we?
That's it. It was a case of up early in the morning. So the poor Sarah got dragged up at the same time, not getting a lie in. And obviously, Pepper was harassing her Uncle John for most of the morning before we left as well.
Yeah. No, it was. Thank you for your hospitality. It was great to stay at Craig and Sarah's, and then we jumped in the car and drove from Washington, which is where Craig lives, just outside Newcastle,
to McDonald's in Durham.
Well, to McDonald's for breakfast, and then straight down to Stoke-on-Trent, where the Artisan Tap is, to see Cillirion. And the Artisan Tap is a great little venue in Stoke, run by our friends Scott and Jane Evans. And we haven't seen those guys for a while. It was lovely to see them, and they showed us around their venue, which is brilliant. I mean, we've got Scott on shortly before the end of this week's pod to talk about the venue, but it's a smallish capacity, 100 capacity, I would say. The room.
The main room's about 100, and then they've got a secondary room which is about 50 or 60, I think it is.
Yeah, like an acoustic room off to the side.
A little beer garden and a little front bar and that as well. It's really cozy and chic, and it's got a nice atmosphere and a nice vibe to it.
Great range of beers, great little bar in there. Yeah, fantastic venue. If you get a chance to go, we highly recommend the Artisan Tap.
And you can visit Scott's little shed.
Yeah, Scott, he's the sound man and the lighting man for all the gigs. So
chief cook and bottle washer.
He has a little shed type thing at the back of the main room, which is where he does the sound from. It's quite nice, quite kooky to see, but yeah, it's fairly new. It looks good. But we were there to see the Cillirion boys again. So we've seen them before, obviously, and it was lovely to see those guys again. We got there probably just as they were halfway through their sound check, weren't they? So that we let them finish that, and we caught up with Jane, really, because Scott was trying to do the sound check with them.
Yeah, but we saw three of the songs in the sound check, and in the sound check, it sounded without the audience, without anybody there, it just sounded absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, it did, and one of them, which we'll talk about when we review the gig in a minute, was a bit of a surprise, but went down really well, I have to say. But yeah, great to see the boys. Mike, Mark, Les, John, and Adi all sort of said hello to us in between sound checking. We did manage to get Les and Mark to chat with us, but unfortunately that was lost into the ether. So apologies, boys. It's my fault. But yeah, they're on their 5th anniversary tour. So they've been doing it for 5 years already. We will talk to them shortly and ask them about their 5 years doing this. But I can't believe they've been doing it 5 years already.
This is what happens when you think, the pandemic 6 years ago. It just seems like no time. Absolutely no time.
Yeah. So it was a Saturday afternoon gig. Started about 2:00. And 2-set gig again. Set 1 began with Assassin.
Now this room is a lot smaller than the venue in Cullercoats. So this was a hot, sweaty, standing, everybody crammed in together, old school, bouncy gig. And yeah, it started off with a absolutely high energy version of Assassin, wasn't it?
Yeah, really tight. Rhythm section was great, particularly on this. But yeah, the audience were up for it as well. As you'll hear later on, I said to Scott, the Sunday afternoon gigs, sorry, are very sociable. You know, it's great. You're leaving at 5 o'clock to go home, and you don't need to take Monday off work. But the atmosphere was great from the off in that room, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was absolutely buzzing.
From Assassin, they kept it on the Fugazi album and went to Punch and Judy.
Punch, the Judy.
Yeah. Worth saying that Adi had got full face makeup on as well, and a sort of headband on.
Bandana, yeah.
And really sort of playing out the fish part, which was great.
It's very theatrical all the way through.
Yeah.
And he doesn't stand still for a second, does he? He's bouncing around and dancing around, and it's like I wish I had a tenth of his energy.
From Punch and Judy, went into a really atmospheric version of Chelsea Monday, which John nailed the solo on, I have to say. And then was the big surprise of the first set, which wasn't a surprise to us because we'd seen it in the sound check, but it was one that Les, the keyboard player, was dreading because they played just for the record.
And it was epic.
Yeah.
It was absolutely brilliant. I mean, kudos to Les. I mean, he was never happy with what he did, but it was brilliant. Yeah,
it sounded great to me.
Yeah, and his fingers on the keys. I mean, Jesus H Christ.
Yeah. They followed that with a version of Script, where Adi was sort of leading the choir in the audience and encouraging everybody to sing along, and the room was singing, you know, top of its voice. And then our second version of Incubus last weekend, which again, another great guitar solo from John.
Brilliant stuff.
And staying on Fugazi for the title track, which again was just amazing.
Blew away.
Yeah. Finished the first set with the G song. So we got our second Grendling of the weekend.
Yeah, we got Grendled again. Now, you know, generally my thoughts on Grendel, but it's one of the tracks I'd never really play on its own, but in a live set, I'm warming to it. So we're gonna be Grendled again when we go down to Blackpool, aren't we?
We are, yeah. I think it was great. I thought it was great, and Adi had got the mask, the helmet thing on, which I think he was still struggling with a bit, wasn't he? But yeah, it was good. It was really dramatic.
I don't think he could do the old fish thing and pick a young guy out of the audience and lift him up at that.
No, I didn't think so. Plus, the stage in there isn't really that small. High, is it? So, you know, yeah, it wouldn't quite have worked in there. But a great way to end the first set, and the guys went off for sort of a 20-minute break and chance for folks to fill their glasses and nip to the loo. That's the only thing about that venue.
Yes, there was a queue for the loo.
There will be a queue for the loo, yeah. But we went out into the
courtyard,
the little courtyard area. They've got a covered courtyard there, which they have to have closed when the bands are on because of it being a residential area. But it's a lovely little area, and the weather that day couldn't make its mind up. It was hailstone in 1 minute,
bright sunshine the next, then rain, and then it was all over, absolutely all over.
The hailstones were Craig's fault because I'd said something about the weather when we were driving down. He said we had everything but snow. Well, that's as close as you could get to snow in May in the UK.
So yeah, we had the 4 seasons in the one day. So there we go.
Yes. Set 2 started with Pseudo Silk Kimono, Kaylee, and Lavender.
Great.
Yeah. Worth saying that the guys had a I mean, we didn't mention it in the first half. Marquee Square Heroes have got sort of a painted backdrop with their logo on and their Facebook and everything. The Cillirion boys were projecting images onto the back
wall.
back wall. I mean, Scott Evans was actually changing them. He was triggering them, but the guys pre-prepared these images, which were great. From there, we got a great version White Russian.
Very precedent.
Yeah, but great. Mark and Mike on the rhythm section were particularly tight on that, I thought. It's not an easy track to play, I don't think.
No.
And then our second Cinderella search of the weekend.
Can't get enough of Cinderella search.
No. Which
nice to have some good rarities in.
Yeah, went down really well. And then the old favourite of Slange.
It was blocking.
Yeah. From Slange into Sugar Mice, and Aidy got a chance to sing All the Best Freaks Are Here. So Freaks was next, which actually got a cheer from the crowd when he announced it, didn't it?
Yeah. Aidy's vocals. I mean, he's got some range on him. But I think one of his best vocals was actually on Sugar Mice, where he sang it not in straight, but he just had the power and the nice dynamic range to fit that song beautifully.
Yeah, he does some of that the falsetto stuff that Fish used to do, didn't he, back in the day?
Yeah,
lady. So from Freaks, heading towards the end of the set now with Garden Party and Marquee Square Heroes to end the second set.
Yeah, no, it's odd that it ended the second set and Marquee Square Heroes wasn't the end.
No, it wasn't. No, so I don't think the band actually left the stage. They just carried on because we were heading towards 5 o'clock at this point. I think there was a 5 o'clock curfew. So straight into Forgotten Sons, which Aidy acted out with the mic stand and everything.
Yeah, been shot by a microphone twice this weekend.
We have. And then a final rousing incommunicado. Everybody was sort of cheering and singing the words, and
more hips put out.
Yeah, there's some footage online, I think, because Jane was live streaming from behind the bar on her phone, so you can see the top of my baldy head.
And at least you didn't get the microphone at you this time.
No one needed that again. But another great afternoon. Cillirion do like doing those Sunday afternoon gigs, so I think that makes it even more appealing, if I'm honest. But we did catch up with them after the event, so now I'm going to hand over to Craig and me talking to Cillirion. Okay, so we caught up with Les, and I think Mark's going to join us from Cillirion a few days after the event, and Les joins us this evening. Hi Les, how are you?
Hello, hope you're okay.
Yeah, very good, thanks. You?
Yeah, fine, thanks.
Did you have a good time on Sunday afternoon?
We always have a good time. If we don't have a good time, it's not worth doing it, isn't it?
You must be pleased with the turnout, though.
Yeah, it's the Artisan Taps. It's quite an intimate venue, really, which is good, really. But it does get warm.
Yeah. No,
you can pack a few people into that little room, can't you?
Yeah. But I say, luckily, it wasn't too warm outside. The first time we played there, it was that warm. The sweat was dripping off the walls and the ceiling, and it was just unbearable. But we did it.
Well, Mark, like a typical drummer, has come in late. I'm just testing if he can hear us.
Somebody had sent me the link.
Here he is. Easy. Hello, matey. All right.
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yes. Yeah. Sorry if it's been a bit of a rush for you, but good to speak to you.
No, it's all right. Les is lying to me, saying that he sent the link and he's not. So
we were just asking Les how you thought Sunday went down.
I think it went pretty well. Yeah, I was happy with it, mostly.
I think good turnout for you on a Sunday afternoon.
Yeah, the Sundays have been pretty good. They've been quite successful. I think it's nice for people to, to be able to have a couple of drinks and then not have to worry about transport, getting home and stuff. It's been it's been quite nice, really. It's nice for us as well to not be getting home at 3 and 4 o'clock in the morning as well.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, I got home back up to Washington via Newcastle by 9 o'clock, so that wasn't too bad at all. So it's like didn't have to go straight to bed, whereas normally it'd be rattling through the doors at God knows what time o'clock.
Yeah, well, when the last time you saw us, when we played in Gateshead, it was dawn by the time we got home, so it was going light as we were pulling up on the drive.
Dear. The set list for Sunday afternoon, it had a couple of new, or at least one new song for you, didn't it?
Yeah. So just for the record, we've we played it twice before, I think, but it's fairly new for us, and we also had Sugar Mice on there as well, which is it's fairly new for us. We've only played that a few times, but yeah, they're both new songs for this year.
And we're telling Les that he absolutely nailed Just for the Record, but I don't know what you would say as being a fellow band member.
Don't ask him.
No comments.
Give over, man. Give over. And I know he's not on here, but John absolutely nailed Sugar Mice solo.
Yes, yeah,
and lots of other stuff. Incubus in particular was really, really amazing.
I love Incubus. I love Incubus. I really like playing it. Even though it's I notoriously drop my sticks every time we play that.
You did that twice on Sunday afternoon.
I did it twice.
Are you actually just trying to throw them at Les?
Probably, yeah. Usually, but it's always Incubus, and it's always the beginning bit. Well, it's the odd kind of drum bit that he does at the beginning, and he repeats it a couple of times through. I hold my sticks quite loosely during that because it's quite a lot of kind of doubles bits in it, and I just end up chucking them away as I'm doing it.
Couldn't figure out what was going on because we couldn't see the floor because we were like 3 or 4 rows back, but it was clear something was going on. And all of a sudden, you appear next to Les. What's going on? What's he doing?
Yeah. Anyway, yeah. I'll try not to throw them away next time.
Hey, no, it's a pretty small stage with you guys all on it, isn't it? So there wasn't a lot of room to move about. I mean, Eddie's got his little bit at the front where he can kind of strut up and down, but not a lot of space on there for you when you got all your gear set up.
To be honest, it felt bigger to me, really, for some strange reason than we've played there before. Maybe because Mark moved across a bit further. So Mike had a bit more space on one side, so it just felt a bit bigger.
You were right in the back corner, Les, weren't you?
That's yeah. I just make noise in the background, mate. Then make John sound good.
He's not.
Les likes to hide in the background. Nobody can ever get him on any pictures. He always tucks himself away in a corner somewhere.
Yeah, it's spot on. I took some pictures on Sunday afternoon. Les in any of them, apart from I tried to get one at the end. And at that point, Eddie jumped in the crowd because you all got that picture with the crowd behind you. So I don't think I've got a single picture with all 5 of you. But Eddie's doing some stuff with the helmet in Grendel and with a mic stand in Forgotten Sons. Is the helmet new?
No, I think I think we've had it since we started doing Grendel. We made a conscious effort, I think for the first time we ever did it to have the helmet on stage with us. So it was no, it's not a new thing. He does like his props though, AD. Yeah. Got the phone for
the web.
Yeah, the web. Yeah, God, my head's gone. It's too late for me. I've had a long day at work.
We've not got a rubber plant yet, though, have we?
No, we haven't got a rubber plant yet. No.
Is that the next thing to get destroyed?
I don't know. We did mention it, and Eddie went, "No, I'm not doing that." So
we'd have to buy a new rubber plant for every gig we did the web at, wouldn't we? So yeah, maybe.
But he does the full face makeup. Does he do that every gig now?
It does, yeah. We've said he could have a break next year though when we do when we're clutching at straws. And he needs to buy the one of the suits though.
Yeah, tartan suit. That's what he
Yeah,
needs. Full
Oh,
tartan
the flame
suit.
one, the one with flames on it.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
That looks like it would go up if you put a match next to it, doesn't it? That one.
Yeah, it does. It's proper polyester stuff.
Yeah, yeah. So have you started to bring more clutching stuff in preparation for next year?
We do quite a few of it already, don't we, Mark?
Yeah, we're nearly done. I think we're nearly done with clutching now. So with the addition of Just for the Record and Sugar Mice, all that we've got left to do now is the last straw going under, which I know is not on the original, but it's on the remaster, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
And Torch Song, they're the only ones we've got left now.
Are you going to tackle Tucson or not?
Yeah, we will do. Yeah, we want to do Tucson, and there's a couple of the other B sides we want to do. We keep getting asked for Lady Nina, so that'll
be a challenge for you.
Yeah, it's difficult because we want to kind of get that electronic drum sound that they got at the front, and it's just figuring out how to do that without buying an electronic drum kit and kind of looking that around with us
You'll have to look at Les.
Yeah, could do. Yeah.
Keyboard maestro.
Yeah,
maybe. I know you've got a pad, and you've got a drum pad, so we just need to work out how to do that.
You're relying on him playing in time, then, though. So you, yeah.
All right, boys. Time out.
I mean, it's been going on for at least 10 years. when you clap 4/4 in what was it, Limelight?
Yeah, we in the old days we played used to play Limelight as part of the covers band, and we started the song off, and obviously the timing of the beginning of Limelight is a bit odd, and Les started trying to get the crowd to clap, but he was clapping in 4/4 as we're trying to get going in whatever it is, like 6/8 or whatever the hell time it is, and I'm shooting him evils across the stage, going, "Stop it!" Oh yeah.
Doesn't help you that, does it? No, just getting more keyboards to hide behind. He's just got a keyboard stack and he can hide behind it. Then he won't need to get involved in stuff like that.
It'll end up like Roger Waters' The Wall with it, but just with keyboard stacks rather than bricks.
Yeah,
I've got enough keyboards to do it, but I don't want to do that. I don't end up like Mark Kelly having like lots of keyboards around you.
Well, but he had it either side, didn't he? He had the front was open and he would play either side.
Back at the back as well. There's one at the back.
Yeah.
You used to have probably about 9 keyboards.
No need for that now, is there?
No, because you can do switches and you've got soft synths, on the computer and stuff like that. But I don't tend to use soft synths. I tend to use keyboards that have got the same sounds as what he had, basically. Like he had a DX7 and a Juno and a Jupiter and a Yamaha CP80 electric piano. So I've got all them sounds roughly.
And can you buy those off the shelf now? Those sounds
a lot of the Roland stuff now. It's getting good. It's a Jupiter's. That's one of his main ones. All the pad sounds you hear, and a lot of that's done on a Jupiter 8. So one of the keyboards I've got Jupiter 8 sounds in it. It's a Roland and it emulates a Jupiter 8.
Right.
So
Mark's nodding off here, but yeah,
he's the drummer. He's got to hit things in time, hasn't he?
Yeah. What about the rest of the year then, boys? What does it look like for Cillirion?
Got 2 gigs in 2 weeks coming up. We've got Landud No next Saturday, week on Saturday the 30th, and then our homecoming party, playing a gig in Newton the Willows, just because we can, and it's our anniversary and it's 5th year. We wouldn't normally play Newton, but we've decided to do that this year, so we can kind of relax a bit during it and have a bit of a laugh, get drunk afterwards and walk home. Don't have to.
Did you tell us at the weekend you're going to be going back to doing a couple of the rock covers at that as well?
Yeah, we were planning on having a few in there. Time's got away from us a bit, but we're still planning on doing a couple of our old Silly Bad numbers in there as well. At the end, we're still going to do a full Marillion set, and then we'll just tag a couple of extra songs on the end. And then we've got a bit of a break then through kind of July and August. Well, so most of June, July and August before we're back to it. We've got St Anne's Festival at the end of August. And then the next gig after that is back to one of our favourite hauntings in Warrington, the Irish Club in Warrington. And then then couple more gigs then to finish off the year. Back down in Chichester,
Glasgow.
Glasgow, Hull. I'm not sure what else.
Lancaster.
Now.
Got Lancaster.
Oh, Lancaster as well. Yeah. So I've got a fairly busy end to the year, and then it's kind of time to start booking in for next year. I mean, hopefully we're going to start doing that fairly soon. I know we mentioned to you on Sunday we're hoping to get over to Europe possibly next year and do Holland and Germany.
Yeah.
That's the plan. Whether it comes off or not, I don't know. Just have to see what venues we can get.
Have you got some leads and some contacts for that, or are you?
We've kind of had a couple of offers. We've just got to see if they'll work out, and then see how it fits into kind of where we want to go and where we want to play. But yeah, I think we've had a couple of people kind of approach us and say, come over and do something. So there's obviously, I know, some of the other tributes do it as well. So there's clearly a market for it.
Absolutely.
We'll have a dig, I think. Yeah.
Yeah. Why not? Yeah, definitely.
To Europe, and that's it. It's a big place, so it's. And there's definitely the demand there.
Yeah.
The logistics as well, into that's the hard thing. What got to think about that insurance and vans and how we're going to do it. I think,
and it's a week off work as well. It's using leave up or losing money as well, because obviously we all have day jobs. It's not we don't do this for a living, so
it's got to be practical.
Yeah, it has. Yeah.
I'm sure you'll make it work, and when you do, you'll have a great time, and it'll only sort of expose you to more and more people, I'm sure. Are you boys catching Marillion on the tour at all?
I am in September at Liverpool.
Oh yeah, okay, cool.
Hopefully I might see you up there.
No, I don't think we're doing Liverpool, are we? We're doing
York, Newcastle. I'm doing Edinburgh, then we're hitting London.
The two Hammersmith gigs, I think, but
you're doing something in the Midlands, aren't you?
Me?
Yeah.
No.
Will you do Manchester or not? No.
Yeah. Okay. Because you've got Pompeii, it's going to be quite an expensive summer anyway, isn't it?
Yeah,
so,
yes.
That'll be a great gig. That will.
It'll be amazing, won't it? It'll be very warm, but yeah, be even warmer than it was in the Artisan Tap on Sunday afternoon, I would have thought. But yeah.
I think Thing is on the same week as well in Liverpool. Into John Anderson's on with his Bang Geeks.
Oh, is that the same time? Is it right?
Same week, yeah, I think.
Are you going?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Where's that? At
the Philharmonic.
Oh, brilliant.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that one. I've not seen John Anderson. So.
No, I've not seen John. The only time I saw Yes was on the Fly from here tour. So that was Benoit David. So yeah, should be good.
Looking forward to it.
Yeah. Well, look, boys, we loved Sunday afternoon. We had a great weekend, all told, and it was great to see you guys, all five of you again.
And it was really high energy. For a Sunday afternoon, the place was bouncing, and the crowd were well up for it. And I mean, this is the one thing that me and John were talking about. Your attack and kind of like almost like punky sensibility of it just really gives a high energy version of the music, and it goes down really, really well.
Well, Marillion were like that in the first years, weren't they?
They were
high
absolutely.
Energy and sort of that's what we try and recreate, really. I think, so they were, for me, they were a punky prog band.
Absolutely, yeah, definitely. First, well, maybe up to Fugazi, I would have said, yeah. Mike told us on Sunday about him rehearsing on his own because of his work and everything. So, we must mention Mike, and some of his backing vocals were very Pete Trewavas-esque in a good way.
Good. Glad you say that.
Yeah, no, they were. Yeah, it was great to see him. He seemed to be loving it. But yeah, he had a great afternoon as well.
It's great because we love doing it, and if you want to watch us, that's great. Do you know what I mean? But we do it mainly because we enjoy ourselves. And the songs are just so good, tricky to play, but so good to play.
Just talk a little bit about your marketing, because you've got a fairly unique sense of humour with your marketing. I noticed the tiles that you do for all the gigs have got something about the location that you're playing. It was a pottery thing, wasn't it, for Stoke? And
yeah, we've got Mike's our resident kind of social media expert, and he does a really good job. And he started to do that, I think, a couple of years ago, where we were playing somewhere he'd try and incorporate something kind of local. So yeah, I've got Stoke with the pottery, with the Land Udno gig. I think it's Alice in Wonderland. We've got, obviously there's other things we do as well. I can't remember what the Chichester one was now, but yeah, we try and incorporate something local. It's worth it. It's worth putting that bit of effort in to make people feel kind of engaged, and that's what it's all about, isn't it? It's getting people engaged and
it gets you noticed online. I mean, you don't have a website as such, but you've got the Facebook page, is that right?
Yeah, Facebook, and I think we do have kind of Instagram as well, but I'm not really sure that it's
not for the target market, boys. I don't think, but could be a bit out there. But yeah, I might be wrong.
Videos on YouTube, haven't we? We got the videos that we've done.
Yeah, we've got the YouTube.
People's not seeing us; they can catch us on that.
Yeah, if you're looking for the dates, then the best place to go is Cillirion, a tribute to Fisher and Marillion page on Facebook.
Definitely.
But yeah, look, boys, thanks again for tonight. It's great to speak to you. Brilliant to see you on Sunday. Keep doing what you're doing, and we will catch you again in a town on a tour soon, I have no doubt.
Can I just thank you to you two as well, because you support all as tribute bands, so it definitely helps and get people watching us. So thanks to you two as well.
Well, it's you guys that are helping keep the music alive, and that's the reason we're here, is to talk about the music. So thanks for what you do.
All right, cheers.
Keep on.
Thanks, boys.
Thank
you. Cheers, John. Cheers, Craig. Thanks, guys. See you later.
And thanks to the Cillirion boys for getting back in touch with us and talking to us again. We will catch them at a gig soon, I've no doubt. We did catch up with our friend Scott, who runs the Artisan Tap. Again, it's another one of those lost interviews from the weekend, but we caught up with him again a couple of days after the weekend to talk to him about how the weekend had gone for him and things that are coming up at the Artisan Tap. So here's us talking to Scott. So we welcome to Planet Marzipan. We welcome back to Planet Marzipan Scott Evans, the proprietor of the Artisan Tap.
Hello.
Hi, Scott. Thanks for chatting to us again. You might remember Scott from previous episodes, particularly our Fugazi episode, where he was one of the stars of the show, and he was there flying the flag for She Chameleon.
Absolutely. Always will do.
On his own, but he was there flying the flag for She Chameleon. Yeah. So you had Cillirion on your third visit to the tap then?
Yeah. And it was another packed out, hot and sweaty Sunday afternoon.
It was indeed.
Yeah. Great turnout. You must be really pleased with that.
Yeah. It's great that we can get that kind of thing going on a Sunday afternoon, which would obviously be traditionally quiet. But those guys always manage to fill the place out, and it's a lot of blokes our age just reliving their 1980s, and singing their hearts out, and it's great. What's not to like?
I mean, you're a fan anyway, obviously, aren't you?
Yeah.
I think, as I may have alluded to already in this episode, in the interview that we did with you on the day, you said that you only book bands that you like.
Correct. Yeah.
So that includes tributes of bands that you like. So
yeah, because we were when we started out, we weren't going to do tributes because the venue traditionally didn't do tributes. It only had a couple of gigs on a month anyway, but yeah, it never had a tribute. But it was actually the Marillion tribute that you guys put in front of me. I was like, yeah, I'll do that one. And then I think it was about the day after I got a message from the Morrissey tribute, and he was doing a tour of my favorite Morrissey album.
Right.
I was like, oh, okay, I'll do that. And then
The floodgates opened.
yeah, but yeah, well, I mean, we get loads and loads of requests to play here.
Yeah.
But I don't do ones that I don't like, and I and I don't do ones that I think are oversaturated in the tribute market. So, for example, I've got nothing against Fleetwood Mac, but there is loads of tribute, and you know, there seems to be one on in Stoke every month. So,
Right.
I just won't touch them. But yeah, I like to do the more sort of quirky ones as well. So you know, we've had Devo on a couple of times, which has gone down really well. And yeah, so
you must have had a Depeche one, haven't you?
we have had a Depeche Mode one. We had Enjoy the Silence, yeah, and they were absolutely that was probably one of the best receptions I think we got to a tribute gig. And like, to be fair, they all do. We had the Fire Doors recently, which is made up of members of the Field Music, and yeah, I mean, they were incredible, just amazing. Yeah, so yeah, you know, I think there's a place for tribute bands. We try not to oversaturate it because we want to leave plenty of room for original music. But you know, you can't go see 1980s Marillion anymore. So
No.
let's book a tribute.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you've been in the venue for 18 months now.
18 months, yeah.
And so you've got 2 rooms.
We have, we've got the main room where you would have seen the guys on Sunday, and then we've got a smaller room that's got an acoustic sort of arty stage at the back, where we do stuff like bluegrass and acoustic and country and things like that. Yeah,
it's a great venue. It really is.
Thank you.
It's our first visit, and we've been meaning to come and see you because obviously, you know, we've been friends for a lot of years through Marillion. But it's a brilliant venue you've got there. Real sort of kookiness to it, but it's got a great feeling to it. It really has.
Cheers.
We're just saying, we're just saying just before we're on record there that you actually you've got bookings for the rest of the year. Everything's pretty much
we are now,
which is brilliant.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, so we've now got 5 or 6 days a week fully booked for the rest of this year. Yeah, and it'd be fair to say that Jan, Feb, and March next year are already looking pretty tasty as well.
Very good. Did you book? Have you booked the Cillirion boys to come back?
We're exchanging emails this week. Yeah, I mean they definitely will be back. Yeah, you know. If not just for me, I mean,
you had one or two friends in there, mate. It wasn't just you, was it?
Yeah. I mean, I really enjoy it from my point of view because I do sound engineering every night, apart from, you know, the 2 days that we're not open, and I do lighting, and a good chunk of the time I don't know the music that's coming up. You know, I'm aware of the band, I've listened to them. I always listen to the bands before I start doing any sort of sound work, and but it's not like Marillion where I intricately know.
Yeah, because you would
know every note.
You were triggering the visuals for the guys on Sunday, weren't you, on the backdrop because you know the music.
Absolutely. So I've got visuals, I've got lights, and you know, to be able to dim the lights in Incubus when it goes quiet, and then put on the floods when it goes loud and stuff, because you know exactly where it's going to be. I think that helps to make the show really good. Personally, I mean, obviously, you know, they do all right as well, but it's mainly
I was going to say they were amazing. I mean, they were all brilliant, but super shout out for Les for nailing that just for the record solo.
Yeah,
absolutely. We will have to say to Les,
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was great in the sound check, and he nailed it on the thing.
Yeah.
He says he didn't, but
He did.
it's really difficult.
And also John on guitar for the Incubus solo. That was
Oh,
phenomenal, wasn't it?
yeah. I also thought Chelsea Mundy as well. I thought he did
Yeah,
a great job
yeah.
on that solo as well. You know, in fact, all of them.
They were all
you-
great. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, you take a lot of things for granted, don't you? Like even when they're playing like songs like Kaylee,
yeah.
which feel less complicated than something like Incubus, but the guitar solo on that is still quite a meaty guitar solo. So yeah,
Yeah, and we were double grendled over the weekend, Craig, weren't we? So,
We were, yes, we were. We got it. We got it both ends, shall we say?
yeah.
You
But
can never have
Grendel in
enough
itself-
Grendel.
Well, yeah, Grendel in itself is a bit of a challenge, isn't it? You know, to play.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was really brilliant. And thank you very much to you and Jane for your hospitality, because we haven't seen you for ages, and you were lovely to us when we came across. So
It was
no
just
problem
too
at
short
all.
a time. It was just too
Yeah.
short a time.
we will have to arrange to come back over.
Yeah. I'll have to do something where it's overnight or something like that. Yeah, bring you better halves down and stuff.
Well, I mean, you put on, we talked about it on the pod, but you put on Candy Craig's Brave show, didn't you, there very early on when it was moved from
We-
Manchester?
Yeah, we did. Yeah. Oh, and that's it. Yeah, on Sunday I exclusively told you about a little prog weekender that we got coming up in April next year. So yeah, I will retell you now.
Okay, yes.
So second, third, and fourth of April next year, we got a prog rock weekend. I don't know what it's going to be called yet. For want of a better title, it might be called the Prog Rock Weekender.
Yeah.
Cape Fest.
Yeah.
No.
And yeah, we've got some great stuff. We've got Black Heart Orchestra, even. We've got Candy Craig. We've got Legs on Wheels, who are just, for me, phenomenal. We've got Grace, we've got High Spy, and we're definitely in talks with other names that I think people will know. So yeah, that
Brilliant.
should be another good weekend of art rock.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
if we can make it across to that, we will. But
Yeah, brilliant. Yeah.
it's brilliant.
Yeah.
Look, it's a great venue. It's really exciting what you've built up over these 18 months. You've got a lot of momentum behind you. That's clear. But I know there's a lot of hard work gone into it by you guys. So, you know, the amount of social media you do, just the quality of the advertising for the gigs and everything, it all looks really professional and great. It's really good.
Cheers. Thank you very much. Much appreciated.
Yeah. So if you're in the Stoke area, have a look at the Artisan Tap listing and sign up for Scott's emails, because he does like to send a few. So, you know, he'll keep you informed. But
You'll not miss out.
no.
Yeah.
Did you have a particular favourite from the gig on Sunday?
Let me think. I particularly liked Chelsea Monday.
Yeah.
Just because it is always has been one of my favourite songs, and I think they did it justice. And yeah, I always think as well. I think Pseudo Silkimona going into Kaylee is always a special kind of vibe to it. Love it. Yeah. Just all those memories flood back. So, but I didn't actually think they played a duff tune, did they?
No, I don't think so at all. No, it
To
was
me,
great.
it was
Great
you
fun.
know.
And
Yeah.
very civilized, leaving a gig at 5 o'clock and going home. Yeah, it's quite
Absolutely,
great,
yeah. The Sunday afternoon gigs are always popular. I think I was saying that we have the Sensational Alex Harvey experience. They always play on a Sunday afternoon. We got them back in September, and again, it's always a packed out room. Always come on to Faith Healer. First time I booked him, came on to Faith Healer, and Faith Healer was the only song that I knew or thought I knew by Alex Harvey. So I thought, wow, this is going to be a long afternoon now. Now the hit is out the way. But to be fair, they were brilliant. Every song was like, oh God, this is really good. Probably not Delilah. Oh,
No, well, they have to do Delilah though, don't they?
yeah, they do have to. Yeah, and obviously they do have to do it in Stoke, but
Yeah.
yeah,
Well, it's still be. I'm sure they're great live. I mean,
Yeah,
Essentiality
yeah.
the band were real characters, and I'm sure they've got that
Yeah.
down to a T. But well, look, thank you very much for talking to us again, Scott. It was great to see you guys. It's a brilliant
Yeah.
venue. Thanks for putting the Cillirion boys on again, and we will try and get back there to see them and other bands if we can.
Excellent.
Cheers, mate.
Yeah, that'd be brilliant. Cheers. Thank you.
Cheers, mate. Distance hugs. Love to the missus.
Okay, thank you very much, Scott. Great to see you and speak to you again, as always. That's the story of our weekend. It was a bit of a mad idea, wasn't it? But thanks for going with it.
The funny thing is like, I mean, you dropped us off at just after 7 at York Station, and it was actually quite good because I managed to catch a train within like 5 minutes or so of actually getting into the station. Got back to Newcastle. It was an express one. Got straight through. Got back to Newcastle just as Newcastle match was coming out. So getting home from town after that was a bit of a bugger.
Sorry, mate.
But no, it's fine. I was actually in the house. So considering not too bad, I was actually in the house by 9 o'clock. So I'm not going to complain.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good. No, it was a great weekend. It was great to spend time with you, and it was like the old days when we used to do this stuff all the time. Yeah.
All the time back in the day.
Yeah. But yeah, please, if you get a chance, support the Marillion tributes. You know, they're a good night out. They put a lot of effort into these things. We really enjoy them, don't we?
Yeah. And if you're in the area, go see Scott at the Artisan Tap. It's support grassroots venues. They all need this. They all definitely need it.
Yeah. But we'll be along next week with something else Marillion related. I'm not saying what because I can't remember what order we're going to do this in. But thank you very much for listening. If you've enjoyed the podcast, it's okay, fair enough. If you've enjoyed the podcast, please like and subscribe, and maybe even review it to Nick Ant's phrase, so we can get the word out there to more people. That would be great. We will hopefully see you soon at a gig, Pompeii, UK tour. Who knows?
Still Marillion in Blackpool.
Still Marillion in Blackpool.
We'll be around.
Yeah. But all that remains to be said is it's good night from Harry, my dog, who sat on my lap.
And it's good night from me.
Take care.
And stay alive.
Yay!
Thanks for listening to Planet Marzipan Podcast. Please like and subscribe from whichever platform you get your podcasts from. You can contact us at planetmarzipanpodcast@gmail.com and check out marillion.com, fishmusic.scot for all